I was howdy, y'all. It's your boy Rico from StreetScores, and I'm coming with another Rico report, and I'm updating y'all on a few things. We got to talk about how Deebo Samuel reportedly has an insanely low body fat. So not only is he not fat like some people are claiming him to be, but he's actually has a really low body fat percentage. This guy is ready. We're going to dive into all of that and also take a look at pictures. Also, we have some more recent Terry updates. A lot going on. You have this fake account saying that like a deal is imminent. We're going to debunk every rumor that is not credible, and we're going to dive into all of the updates that are going on most recently. And then also we have Von Miller's contract details finally, so we can finally start to dive into that and what that's looking like, and also what it says about his potential role for the Commanders. Did we bring him in on like a vet minimum where we're not really necessarily expecting him to contribute, or did we sign this guy to good enough money to where, hey, we need you to go out there and get us at least 7-8 sacks? We're going to dive into all that and more, but before we do, make sure you stiff arm that like button, stiff arm the subscription button, and stiff arm the bell next to that subscription button so you get notification each and every time I release an informative and opinionated video just like this one. Make sure you stay tuned to all of the content. I'm gonna keep y'all updated on everything, and of course with training camp right around the corner, I'm gonna have y'all updated on every single thing. Any clips, any videos, pictures that come from practice, I'm gonna show y'all them. We're gonna break those down. Any reports about who's having a good practice or a bad practice, we're gonna break those down. You know me, man, we go position group by position group: quarterbacks, running backs, wide receivers, tight ends, offensive line, D-line, all the way through, even through special teams as well. So make sure you stay tuned for all of the training camp updates. I got y'all covered with every little thing. Without further ado, let's go dive into the video right now, man. Let's get it. Adam. As you can see on the screen right now, hey man, this guy does not look fat to me. He looks like he's way more muscle than he is fat. I mean, this is probably the best shape I've seen Deebo Samuel in since he was drafted. This looks like he's even better shape right here than his famous 2021 season where he had his best season of his career, went crazy, was running everybody over, and looked like one of the most dominant, not only just receivers, but playmakers, skill position players in the entire league that year. And again, he looks more in shape in this picture than he even looked back then, which is crazy because now we have this report. Apparently Deebo Samuel weighs 220 pounds and only has 8% body fat per his personal trainer Nick Hill via the John Com report. Shouts out to John Com for getting that information, man. That's elite information. Also, it's reported that Deebo Samuel has been training every day beginning at 6 a.m. That includes speed, power lift, high level cardio, route running, and boxing sessions. Now, you've seen the boxing sessions. I've even uploaded those to my channel like back weeks ago when he first uploaded those to his social media, but he's been doing everything. And to dive even further, apparently Deebo looks great right now. He's able to hit 20 plus miles per hour sprints over and over again. That's directly from his personal trainer Nick Hill himself. And I mean, a lot of people, you had Terrell Owens making fun of him, saying he's just one sandwich away or something like that. And then you saw like the clips of him just kind of going through mandatory minicamp in slow motion. I said it way back then. That was not indicative of how slow he is. That was just him going through the motions, and a lot of people stood up for him. You had his former teammates like George Kittle and all of those guys that are still in the 49ers standing up for him and saying, man, that's typical protocol in mandatory minicamp. You're not going 100% speed. You're kind of just chilling and going through the motions, and we're just trying to learn the playbook and things like that. Logan Paulson of the Commanders media team, like he even stepped up on him and Craig Hoffman. They also basically said the same thing. Like, there's no reason to be going 100% right now. He's not running as fast as he can. And so now you're finally seeing these clips of him running as fast as he can and everything like that, looking real good. Like you have this clip right here where he's working with NFL trainer James Everett Jr., aka the route god, who has worked with multiple NFL players like Xavier Legette and James Cook as most recently. And he looks good in these clips too, man. He looks agile. Again, he looks way stronger than he does look fat, and his hands look good. I'm really excited about Deebo Samuel's potential, and even just beyond like him having 8% body fat and looking real strong, looking like he may be the quickest he's been in a long time. I also feel like he's the perfect fit in Cliff Kingsbury's offense. Like, it's a match made in heaven. Cliff Kingsbury has always been looking for a receiver like Deebo Samuel, and Deebo Samuel has always been looking for an offensive coordinator and an offense to belong in like Cliff Kingsbury. I think Kyle Shanahan's offense was great for Deebo Samuel. I think Cliff Kingsbury will take Deebo Samuel to an even higher level. Now, I'm not saying he's going to put up the same stats that he put up in 2021, because you have Terry, you have Jaden Daniels who likes to run. We have an assembly of running backs, and I'm hoping JCM steps up big time. You have Jalen Lane, I hope, contributes. Noah Brown is a strong wide receiver too. And Zach Ertz, you know, I think he led our team in receptions last year. Austin Eckler gets the ball out of the backfield a lot. It's so many mouths to feed. I don't necessarily see Deebo Samuel getting back to 2021 level stats, but I think efficiency-wise, it's going to be one of his most efficient seasons, if not his most efficient season in his NFL career. As far as like yards per catch, yards after contact, and things like that, I think he's going to ball out this year. I have strong faith in that, man. Let's go ahead and wrap up this Terry McLaurin deal so he can get to work. And then look at this video right here with him going full speed with Nick Hill. This is uploaded by him, and I mean, this is fast. Somebody that supposedly is as fat as a lot of people out there claim he is to be wouldn't be able to run that fast on a treadmill like this, man. He wouldn't be able to reach that level of speed, man. He looks like his legs almost become a blur at a certain point. Like, it looks like Road Runner a little bit. Like, shouts out to Deebo Samuel. He looks good to me. And again, to hear that he has 8% body fat, of course, that's not like a direct report from like our medical staff or something like that, but his trainer is claiming that. And again, from the pictures that I saw, I want to believe it. From the clips and the pictures that we're seeing that I've already shown y'all in this video, I tend to believe that he should be good to go. Again, there was a lot of hate going on back in mandatory minicamps, and I think it even went as far back as voluntary OTAs. And even before we traded for him, a lot of people were saying, don't trade for him, he's overweight and unmotivated. Well, he might have been back then, but since he's joined the Commanders, he's been heavily motivated. Again, I've seen clips of him working out more than any other player on the entire team. I'm not saying that nobody else is working out. I'm not saying anybody else is not working out as much as him, or not working out even more than him, or something like that. But I mean, I've seen him boxing with certain trainers. I've seen you, again, working with Route Guy. I've seen him working with his personal trainer, like really trying to get fit and things like that. I mean, he seems to be doing something every week. And so I think if anybody's going to come in like as great a shape as possible coming into training camp, which again, the veterans report the 22nd, they start practicing the 23rd, I'm assuming, I think Deebo Samuel will actually be one of the guys that's in the best of shape going there. I mean, you know, of course, coming off of technically what you would consider a vacation right now, I don't think anybody's necessarily going to come in 100% shape, because you can train as much as you want as an individual with a personal trainer until you put like the helmet on and you're out here working the way the team wants you to work. They're going to outwork you. They're going to work you beyond your limits on purpose. That is by design. They want to make practice hard so the games are easy. So nobody's going to come in like 100% in shape ready for what Dan Quinn is going to do to these guys in practice. But Deebo Samuel's probably going to be one of the guys that has the best stamina, at the very least looks the most in shape. So I'm really excited about that. And then shouts out to Ryan Clark too, because with all of the chaos that was going on with everybody hating on Deebo Samuel and everything like that, he was one of the people that stood up for him. Just like how he stood up for Jaden Daniels against Cam Newton, Ryan Clark also stood up for Deebo Samuel. He said all of this hate about to turn Deebo Samuel up. My dog finna go no carbs on y'all. So basically he's about to cut out all the carbs and go crazy. I mean, again, 8% body fat, just to let you know, Ryan Clark said that before we got the report that he's only 8% body fat. So maybe there's something to that. He's joking, but maybe Deebo Samuel did cut out all of the carbs. But again, I just wanted to give y'all all of that information, show you the clips, show you the pictures, so that you're excited going into training camp. You don't have much to worry about when it comes to Deebo Samuel. I promise you he's going to come in and ball out. I'm so sure of that. Now to move on to the next topic. First of all, Grant Gordon updating the whole Von Miller to Washington Commanders situation, how he ended up signing there and everything, and he even updated it with some stats. He updated it with some pictures and basically talked about how the Buffalo Bills released Von Miller this offseason, and he was now on the way to join his 4th career squad after rising to stardom and claiming a Super Bowl MVP with the Denver Broncos and winning his 2nd career Super Bowl with the Los Angeles Rams. He's 36 years old, looking for one more run at a 3rd Lombardi Trophy, and joins the Commanders squad that believes his title window is open after an NFC Championship game run a season ago that was catapulted by 2024 first round pick Jaden Daniels. And I mean, from that, I just read that to let you know, like, remind y'all, like, this guy's coming here to ring chase. Like, he joined the Bills a couple of years ago to ring chase. He saw Josh Allen. He was like, this team is on the up and up, man. I could probably be the reason that they go over the hump and finally win it all. Well, now he abandoned ship from the Bills. It was like a mutual parting to where the Bills get to save some money. Von Miller gets to go to a team that he feels like gives him an even better chance to ring chase. And basically, Von Miller feels like he has a better chance of winning the Super Bowl with the Commanders than he does the Bills. I think that should say a lot right there. So again, just wanted to remind y'all that this guy is coming to the Commanders to ring chase. But then we got an official update as of July 19th through Ian Rappaport that said Edge Von Miller is signing a 1-year, $6.1 million deal with a chance to make a $10.5 million in incentives, sources say. That's a pretty good deal right there. He's not too expensive on base as far as cap hits go with that $6.1 million as he's more than likely going to be against the cap. But then if he goes out there and plays a lot of games, plays in a lot of reps, gets a lot of sacks, quarterback pressures, QB hits, he's impacting winning. You know what I'm saying? He's having a positive impact on why we're winning games. He can earn up to $10.5 million. I hope he reaches it too. I'm rooting for him. I want him to ball out, because if Von Miller is anywhere near as good as he even was just last season with the Bills, this could take our defense to another level. I already feel like our cornerback group is already way better than what it was last year. I mean, again, ignoring the skeleton, the placeholder version of Marshawn Lattimore that we got last year that never was healthy. And now you're going basically from Michael Davis, Emmanuel Forbes, and Benjamin St-Juste to a fully healthy Marshawn Lattimore, Trey Amos in the cornerback room. Mike Sanders still moves back to his more natural and better suited position in the slot. And then now you have an upgraded pass rush with Von Miller, who, again, I already gave y'all the stats when he first signed with us a couple of days ago. Basically, I gave y'all like 4 or 5 different stats that all screamed, this is a top 4, top 5 pass rusher in the NFL right now. He may not necessarily be useful on first and second downs for stopping the run, but when it comes to it's third and long, we need somebody to go get the quarterback. Von Miller was a top 5 efficient edge rusher as far as rushing the passer and pass block win rate and stuff like that in the entire NFL last year. And I think in the playoffs, I think he was the second highest. He had the second highest pass rush win rate out of all edge rushers that of all teams that were in the playoffs. Like, so when we need him the most, because we need, the regular season, great. But we need you the most in the playoffs. Like, that's the time we need, when the lights are at its brightest, we need y'all to show up. And that's why having veterans like Bobby Wagner, Zach Ertz, Austin Eckler, and Von Miller matter. Because these guys have been there, done there. They're not going to have the butterflies in their stomachs that really necessarily cause them to make mistakes. When it's clutch time, you can trust those guys to be clutch because they've been in these situations over and over again. And Von Miller even proved that last year at age 35, the second highest pass rush win rate out of any edge rusher in the entire playoffs. So that's exactly what we need him for, right? We need a closer. You know, our defense last year, it was, if our defense is on the field last, it feels like we're going to lose. If our offense is on the field last, we're going to win. I trust Jaden Daniels to lead us to a game-winning field goal, game-winning touchdown, whatever it takes. When we won the coin toss against the Falcons in overtime, I literally said it immediately. You can go check the receipts in the live stream. I said, oh, we're done. We won. Jaden Daniels gets the ball in overtime. The Falcons aren't even going to get a chance to see the ball. Just like how Josh Allen had to deal with Pat Mahomes doing that to him a few years back, where Josh Allen led this crazy game-winning drive, and then the Chiefs win the coin toss, and poor Josh Allen never sees the field again in the playoffs. And we basically did the same thing to the Falcons. But the defense, on the other hand, I mean, you saw how they struggled against the Saints and almost gave away that win. It happened time after time after time. So for some reason in the fourth quarters, or when it's time to close a game, when we just really need a sack, or when we just really need a turnover, we just couldn't do that last year. Von Miller can get us that sack. Trey Amos, Mike Sanders, still and Marshawn Lattimore, now fully healthy Marshawn Lattimore. I think they can be those guys that can get us that game-winning interception. We'll see. But either way, going to Nikki Javala, she said if Von Miller can hit the max value or close to it of his deal this season, he'll be the first defensive player in NFL history to top $200 million in career earnings. So he's that close. Right now, he's almost there with the $6.1 million that he's going to get guaranteed. But if he gets that additional 4.5, he officially becomes the first defensive player in NFL history to reach $200 million career earnings. And I'm rooting for him to get it, man. And then also do want to point out the fact that with Von Miller signed, We currently have 91 players on the roster, so I don't know what roster move is on the way to where we're going to clear space, because we did do a roster move recently. Undrafted free agent tackle Timothy McKay was placed on the non-football injury list, but at the same time, he still counts towards the 90-man roster, technically 91-man roster, because we have that guy, I can't remember if he's from Germany. I think he's Cameroonian, but he's from Germany or somewhere. He played rugby. I remember that. I can't remember his name right now, but he's part of the International Pathway program. He's one of those players that they give you an additional player on your off-season roster, and then an additional practice squad player. He'll more than likely be that for us throughout the regular season and postseason and things like that. But Tim McKay, even though he's going on a non-football injury list, he still counts towards our 91-man roster, and so he'll begin camp by rehabbing on the side field, so he'll still technically be there, but he won't necessarily be practicing with the team. So we still need to find somebody who's going to end up getting cut to technically make room for Von Miller to make that move even legal at this point. Right now, we have 92 players on our roster. We're only allowed to have 91, so I don't know who's going to get cut, but just know before we get to the 23rd when training camp starts, somebody's going to get cut. I don't know who it is yet, but it's on the way. This shouts out to Brian Manning of Commander's Wire. He said, "What does Miller's contract tell us?" And I was thinking this exact thing. I feel like he worded it beautifully because I agree with a lot of things that he said. I was about to just go ahead and give y'all exactly what I thought, but I feel like he worded it really well, so I wanted to reference him and give him credit. He said, "Washington clearly expects him to produce. Miller appeared in 13 games for the Buffalo Bills last season, recording 6 sacks while participating in only 33% of Buffalo's defensive snaps. The Commanders expect Miller to replace Dante Fowler Jr., who led the team with 10.5 sacks last season. On paper, that sounds easy because Miller's a legend, while Fowler only had 2 years with double-digit sack numbers in 9 seasons. However, Fowler is around 5 years younger than Von Miller. Last season, Dante Fowler appeared in all 17 games for Washington, playing 52% of the Commanders' defensive snaps. That's a whole 19% more than Von Miller did for the Bills. Dante Fowler was a liability against the run, but that's not the case with Miller. And that's interesting too, because I sort of disagree with that. I don't think he's as bad against the run as Dante Fowler was, but I still don't want to see Von Miller on first and second down. That's why you have Cleveland Farrell and Dietrich Wise especially. Now, I think Dorrance Armstrong, he has some work to do, but I think he needs to become a better overall, all-around, well-rounded edge rusher that can be on the field first, second, and third downs, because we're paying him like it, and they kind of expect him to be that. And even last year, they had him on the field quite a bit on first and second down. So they're expecting that guy to become better at setting the edge and run stopping. He wasn't great at it last year, but we need you to be. But either way, Von Miller should only have to touch the field on third and longs, obvious passing downs, because you even have Javon Kinlaw, who we just brought over, and we're paying him good money. And he's even going to play edge rusher. I wouldn't be surprised, probably like a third of the time. I think he'll be a defensive tackle most of the time, but don't be surprised if he's playing edge rusher far more than you probably think. Even the Jets already started to do it with him last year, and he was pretty productive from that viewpoint. So I guess Von Miller isn't necessarily as bad as Dante Fowler is against the run, but I still don't prefer him out there. So I slightly disagree with that point there. But continuing on, this isn't a bare minimum contract for Von Miller. That's the biggest part about this. It's a similar deal to what Bobby Wagner signed last season. We know how that one turned out. People will joke about the age of the Commanders team. That's foolish. Most of the Washington's older players are signed to short-term deals, and those players remain productive. I agree with all of that. Head coach Dan Quinn will do everything to keep Miller healthy and fresh late in games, which goes back to my point that I keep screaming about, how Zach Ertz, remember when we first signed him, not only were fans of every other team in the entire league, and even a lot of our own fans were saying this is a waste of a signing. He's been injury prone for the last couple of years with the Cardinals. What's the point of even giving this guy any money? He's not going to be healthy enough to play. He gave you all 20 games last year, 20 straight games, including the playoffs. Bobby Wagner, old as well, gave us all 20 games, didn't miss a single game. And shouts out to Dan Quinn, because he has this policy where none of those older veterans even practice the first day of available practices. So if we play on Sunday and everybody's practicing Monday or Tuesday, those guys get that first day off. They only practice Wednesday and Thursday, or Thursday and Friday and things like that, just depending on how the week schedule goes. They always miss the first main practice. And I guess that plus some other stuff behind the scenes that we don't know what's going on with the rehab staff and the medical staff of this team, whatever they're doing, it's working. They have a fountain of youth over there, and I'm expecting that to extend to Von Miller, and I'm thinking that Von Miller will be even better, or at the very least more efficient than he even was with the Bills last year. I'm not saying he's about to go out there and get you 12 sacks, but I think he's going to play really well. And the most important part, the reason of this whole discussion and bringing up Von Miller in this video is because they're paying him like that. Again, this is quite similar to Bobby Wagner's deal, and you saw he was a leader of the defense. He's one of the most important parts of this entire team. He's the soul of the defense, so they're expecting Von Miller to really contribute. This is not just some pay him pennies, and anything we get out of him, that's just a bonus. Low risk, high reward type of thing. I mean, it's still somewhat low risk with some high reward, but there's a certain level of expectations that come with giving them $6.1 million off rip immediately, no questions asked, and then he can earn all the way up to $10.5 million if he balls out. A $10.5 million 1-year contract is pretty significant. Maybe not necessarily for an edge rusher in particular, but that's pretty important. They are expecting him to go out there and get a significant amount of sacks and constantly affect games. And I do want to remind y'all that one of the stats I can remember off the top of my head from my Von Miller video that I just did a few days ago, if you haven't checked that out, is that I think out of the 5 games that Von Miller got a sack with the Bills last year, they won 4 of them. So there's also a little bit of good luck there. So we need him to impact games, go out there and get a sack, because it seems like when Von Miller, even at this old age, gets a sack, your team is far more likely to win games, and we need all of that we can get. And again, most notably, we need him to be one of our closers. We didn't have one of those last year. 3rd and long, 4th quarter, 1 minute left. We just need a sack right here so that we can get off the field and we can just, the offense can come onto the field and QB nil. Von Miller is that guy. We didn't have that guy last year. Von Miller can be that guy. Even with Dante Fowler's 10.5 sacks, it was very rarely like closer level sacks. It was usually throughout the course of a game, and every sack matters. Sacks are important. I salute to Dante Fowler, but whenever it was 4th down or 3rd down, it's 4th quarter, a minute or 2 left to go, and we just really needed a sack to put the game away defensively, we just didn't have that guy last year, and I think Von Miller can be that guy. Now moving on to Terry McLaurin. We have a few updates that have come out since I just talked about him like a day and a half ago. First of all, Commanders insider Lake Lewis Jr., shouts out to him too, man. He's a great dude and everything. Make sure I follow him on Twitter. Everything that he does, man, shouts out to Lake Lewis. But he said that he believes that wide receiver Terry McLaurin will receive a contract extension before training camp. Again, I want to remind y'all, as y'all are watching this video, right now it's 5 a.m., Monday, July 21st. The veterans report the 22nd. They start the practice, I'm assuming, the 23rd. So is Lake Lewis saying that a contract will be done some point later today? Maybe at the buzzer beater, as the veterans are reporting the 22nd, sometime during that. He said before training camp, not just at all. Like, some people are worried about Terry McLaurin getting traded. Lake Lewis not only saying that Terry McLaurin will get a contract done and will be good to go, he's also saying that it should happen before training camp. He said, quote, I think when training camp starts, I think Terry McLaurin will be out there on that football field and Terry McLaurin will be in camp. I truly believe that. I'm not exactly sure what sources he has, but again, shouts out to Lake Lewis because I love his work, so I want to lean towards believing him. I love his word. I consider him a very trustworthy source, but I mean, this Terry McLaurin situation just looks so bad. It's just, man, like, where are you hearing this from? Give me something, you know what I'm saying? But even moving forward from that, shouts out to @JDaniels MVP. He said that I've seen a few people on here say that Terry McLaurin is getting extended tomorrow, and this was yesterday. So he's saying that he's receiving word that sometime later today, the 21st, he's going to get extended. He said it would make sense considering veterans report on Tuesday the training camp and the team will be in contact with Terry's side tomorrow. However, nothing is confirmed or official yet. We'll see. And then shouts out to Rio Robinson. You already know my boy over there. He said, yup, and nobody has sources. People need to relax and touch grass because it's all kinds of chaos right now, which takes me to the point that you had NFL updates on X put out a tweet that said the Patriots and the Broncos have both been in trade discussions with the Commanders for Terry McLaurin. And of course, I already assumed that was false. I mean, you go look at their page and they only have 3,809 followers. They're following almost double the amount of accounts that are following them. This is just seems to be something somebody created a Twitter page and just started throwing stuff out there. And he even said the Commanders want a high pick and a wide receiver in return. Like, we're actually listening. We've already heard credible sources like Jeremy Fowler and those guys say that the Commanders are not even thinking about trading Terry McLaurin. You have this random Twitter account coming out of nowhere saying that the Commanders want a high pick and a wide receiver in return for Terry. We've gotten nowhere near those types of talks and that type of thinking, man. He said something about Devon Vele and Javon Baker and Jalen Polk are names that we've heard. All of that was a lie. Even to the point that Benjamin Albright himself quote tweeted it and said completely false. So I'm just presenting all of that to basically say that this is another source that if you look at it from a certain way, basically saying the Commanders do not want to trade Terry McLaurin. This random Twitter account out of nowhere said they plan on trading Terry. Benjamin Albright said no. So now we're having multiple trustworthy sources saying Terry McLaurin is not going anywhere. We're not sure if necessarily that the deal will get done before training camp in a couple of days, but it will get done. And then shouts out to Mark Bullock because somebody asked him the Terry extension. I don't think it's a slam dunk personally. His age is a concern. I feel like Mark Bullock brought up some great points. He said, personally, I've never been concerned about it. Terry did what he had to do last week talking to the media. Only real leverage play was getting fans on his side, which he already had, and to try to add pressure. He can request a trade. They won't grant it. Doubt he holds out of actual games. So at some point, he's going to end up signing. Why not just go ahead and do it before training camp even starts? And then he also said the downside of Terry being such a pro from his point of view is that the team knows he'll be in shape and ready to go even if he holds out of training camp. They also know he already knows the playbook and has a connection with Jaden. So they really hold the leverage because he's basically saying there's not necessarily a rush to get Terry McLaurin there the first day of training camp because he'll be good to go whenever he shows up. He knows the playbook. He has a connection to Jaden Daniels. The chemistry is already great. And you already know, again, to his point, like technically to Terry's detriment, even though it's a compliment to him, they already know no matter how many training camp practices he misses, if he misses any at all, that when he does show up, he's still going to be in great shape as if he never missed a practice. I mean, again, that's a compliment to Terry, but at the same time, this is sort of working against them in this situation. So it's a really weird situation. I just love those thoughts from Mark Bullock. I feel like those are great points that I didn't think about. So I wanted to present those to y'all as well. But yeah, man, that's the end of this video. Please get in the comment section. Let me know if you about everything discussed in the video. Please still farm that like button, still farm the subscription button, still farm the bell next to that subscription button so you get notification each and every time I release an informative and opinionated video just like this one. Make sure you stay tuned to all of the content. Really appreciate y'all for supporting every video. If you made it this far in the video, man, salute to you. Make sure you leave a like on the way out, please, man. It's free for y'all and it means the world to me. And also, of course, in the comment section, let me know how you feel about everything, man. Let me know how you feel about the whole Deebo Samuel situation. The fact that he apparently only has 8% body fat. That's crazy. Are y'all predicting that he's going to have a ridiculously productive season like I do? Are y'all as high on him as I am? Also, let me know how you feel about the Von Miller situation. Do you agree that the way his contract is set up, even though it is heavily incentivized, do you feel like that there is a certain base to where, okay, Von Miller, we're expecting you to go out there and play at a fairly high level? Maybe not necessarily in your prime, but this is not a vet minimum type of situation. Let me know if you agree or disagree with any of that. And then, of course, let me know how you feel about the whole Terry McLaurin situation. And do you think they're going to hit a buzzer beater and sign him right before training camp? Or do you think they'll wait until some point during training camp? Or are you in the boat where you think they may end up trading him, or he'll hold out all the way till the regular season? Let me know how you feel about everything in this video. Leave a like on the way out. I appreciate y'all again. I'm going to catch y'all later. I'm out.